Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Commodity Futures Report for Wednesday, September the 21st. Just starting with the bonds, the yields here, still moving to the upside here. I was kind of expecting it to have a bit of a top here because it needs to have, wave structure as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So, but we've got the Feds with making their announcement this evening, I believe. Yeah, let's see what that's all about. 50, 75 or 100 basis points, who knows? Let's see, but we'll certainly rock the short-term positions in the market. But as far as this longer term trend goes, we're still looking to the upside. We can the medium level, halfway between two major levels, will be going from 250 to 4 here. So that's where we'll probably see roughly the top of waves 3, 4 and 5. So still moving to the upside. And the frightening thing here really is that from the low here, we can count 5 waves up. That means we'll have a correction here and then another 5 up. That's just Elliott wave. Okay, so over to the US dollar here. We're looking at it as possibly making a new high, and it needs to breach this to confirm it. That would mean that we would have it's possible to have wave 5 in here, but if the yields are going to go up, then the dollar should be going up with it, I guess. So wave 3 here, wave 4 here, and then going up for wave 5. That count would be in line with our count on the cable. And in that case, we would be looking for wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and then pushing up for wave 3 here for this. So that's what's occurring now. This move here is corrective because it's taken out the top of this B wave here. So that means we should clear. Obviously, it's sitting at the 11,000 there, so that's a bit of a stopper, but we'll see how it fits at that point. So it's not confirmed to go up here just yet until it takes out that top here, because it could still be an A wave here, some sort of ABC for the B wave over here for that, and then down for the C wave here. We could also look at that as wave 2 as well. So let's just see how the Feds rock this boat here. But certainly looking at the cable, the further downside, and this US dollar to the upside. Okay, starting on the commodities and starting with gold. GDX here, we know that we're looking at corrective wave 4 here, so we've got wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and we can also put 1 and 2 in here as well, and we'll see this move to the downside further to move through here for that. The funny thing is silver looks like it may have a low in place, but we can't have that here because this move here in GDX is in 3 waves here. So it's not looking, still more downside here for that. So that means that US spot gold, looking at this as a wave 4 here, depending how you count the top here, there is a difference and all that, but I'm assuming this down as 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here. But we could also look at this here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, an A and a B, C for the fourth wave, and coming down for the fifth wave to make 1 and 2 here, and then move down. So either way, that 1650 here is what we call a medium level, and there will be support, there will be bounces off here, so it still yet needs to come down. So it's possible to put that wave 2 there, but it never pulled back to its 61.8%, so it's more likely to be sitting over here, but expect a little bit of a bumpy ride coming down here. Now, with silver, we have been looking at it with a possible low in place, and it's not the best 5 waves up here. In that wave 3 here is not, it looks longer than wave 1, so that's okay. But the wave 4 is a bit simple compared to wave 2, so we could look at it differently. We could look at it as an ABC here for the A wave and a B wave and a C wave. We could look at it like that. This move down through here appears to be corrective, but you could probably get a bit of an impulse wave out of that. But the beautiful thing here is that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, so we can look at that as a wave 1, and then we've got an ABC pattern here for this. So technically, based on what I can see here, we should be getting from, based on this, as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. Now when it gets to the top here, that means that it may be bullish at that point, or it may just be a larger correctional pattern of an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here. So that's also possible as well here as a wave C. So what we'll do, or a wave 1, yeah, we could put that there. We'll probably need to put that around the other way actually. So label this wave 1 here and this a smaller wave 1 here. But so you could trade long here if you wanted to, but the longer term trend would confirm taking that high out. So yeah, we've got a few things to get through there, but there's no reason you can't look to build long trades in, you know, off this low here really. But I'll leave that up to you at that point. I'm not much interested in this until until I get a classic trading levels pattern on this level here. So that's the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, then an ABC pattern here, and then further up at that point. So in that regard, it would be this pattern here, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, that's where we're going now, then the ABC, and then sitting over here, then we can go at that point. So this could be corrective to that point because of what's happening with gold at the moment with all of that. So we need to be a little bit careful, but based on that 5 waves there and this 3 wave pullback, you can look to build. I mean, personally, I'd look for a little classic trading levels pattern on the 1950, but you can build on 1930 because the 1930 will be the top of group 1 of the 1900. So that would, if you get tested support on top of 30, that will push you up to 50. And based on this here, we should be pushing up further. So all looking quite good for silver at that point. Okay, over to copper. So copper's a little bit like gold as well in that it's had this like move down through here. You know, how we count this down here has always been a little bit of a mystery to me because, you know, I just don't like spikes in the market like this. All this sort of behavior reminds me of just being all part of the same trend to this point here. But so it does chuck a bit of a spanner in the works for me. I mean, other folks may have it all sorted out, but this does look like a nice 3rd wave down here, doesn't it? You know, I mean, I've got it as a 5th wave, and commodities can have structures in here. So, but the thing is, even if it was a 3rd wave at this point, or a 5th wave, whatever, but if it was a 3rd wave, the 4th wave would come back here to the 38.2% for a 4th wave here. So from here, it could just continue to fall down here like gold could do, you know. But it is a useful metal. It is now a green metal, and it could move up from here as well. So I've been looking at it. You know, I give the bearish count and the bullish count equal weight. And what I've done with the bullish count here, I've looked at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 2. And then I've looked at this one here as wave 1 here, and pulling back for wave 2 at this junction here, at this point here. So it's possible now that we could take this here and drop it down onto here, but let's go to the 100 ticks to have a bit of a look at. So it's kind of setting up as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, because what we were looking for once we got to the low here was a 5 wave move here, and we've been watching that unfold, and that's all folded nicely, and now we're looking for the ABC pull back to the 61.8%, and that's done that as well. So it's kind of doing all the right things for a bullish move to the upside. So let's go in and have a look at the 100 ticks area, and this would be looking here at the wave 1 at this point and coming back for wave 2 over here for that's that side of it. I'm also looking at it as wave 4, but as far as this goes here, it's not the best looking 5 wave structure from wave 4 to wave 5 here, but the rest of it seems to fit quite nicely with all of this as wave 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and you know, it does push up here. It's just not the 3rd wave's a little bit small here. So I can understand if you wanted to count it differently, you know, but I'm just sort of working through it. And then we were looking for this to pull back. It dropped down a little bit lower than the 61.8%. That's okay. We had this trigger up here, and the idea was to bring it down to the next level. So we've done that. We can bring it down to this level here now. It's not to say that it's going to push up from here. But if it does, that would be the point. Looking for a classic trading levels pattern on the 35,500 here as a CFD product rather. So looking for a nice little, you know, the first high above the level here. You know how it all goes. If this is going to, if I was going to trade this, I'd be looking at it like this here. I'd wait for the first high above the level, and then look to you know, take out that particular high here at that point. We don't obviously have to you know, bet all the kids on it. We can sort of split them up a little bit and look to chuck the other kids in a little bit further up here on that, you know, just to make sure, to be sure, you know, because you don't want them coming back and knocking on the door again once you've got rid of them. So yeah, that's all good there. Look, this is a bit high risky here, all of this here, because I don't know the big account, you know what I mean? I'm just toying with the intraday count and trying to find our way in, because, you know, we have to make a stand somewhere. This could quite easily just continue to the downside here, so, you know, be a little bit careful. Or it could have this as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave to here, and then come down, which is probably more likely. So make sure you get this right. Make sure you got, you know, make sure that you understand this pattern here, and you take your entry over here for that. Alrighty, so lithium here. So with lithium here, we've been waiting for lithium stocks to pull back. The same thing applies here. We could go long above the top here. We could bring it down and go long at this point here as well. But I kind of really want to get onto the 80 for this EFT here. We have been looking at lithium stocks, so we're going to have a quick look at that now. I'm just going to go to the Australian market actually here, and I'm just going to bring that in there just to show you what I've got here. This first one here, this is a Chilean one. This is I got this here because it's one of the largest lithium stocks there is, right? It's traded on the New York desk, and it's got a good dividend, so it's kind of sort of worth holding in a sense, you know. Anyway, you can pause to read that or whatever, or look them up and things. I wasn't aware of them. So this to me here is kind of setting up, but it's not sitting there the way that I would want it just yet for that, okay? But that's what one of the big stocks is doing. The other big stock is this one here. And this is sitting at also on the New York desk, and this one here is they've got a few other chemicals in here as well, so that probably needs a little bit more sort of understanding. But once again, I'm not set up on my level here. We've just really arrived here. We haven't got a correction here yet. I need that correction, because the corrections, you know, are the basis, the foundation for the next trend, and we don't have that. You know, this is the distribution of the trend, and we need that setup that's not there just yet. These are Australian stocks that we're looking at, and you might have these in in your country. I mean, Australia is Australia, Canada, what's the other one? Maybe the US, I don't know. But I know Canada and Australia are quite big on the one of the, you know, in the top sort of 5 in terms of lithium. But I'm kind of putting lithium stocks into 2 categories. One is this one here, where we've got a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and we're waiting for that pullback for the ABC, and then we're going to look to find our way in at that point and move up at that stage. So that's what we're sort of looking for here. We've been watching the turn of all of this, so that's all good at this stage. So that's good. And this line town here is the same pattern as well, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and coming down for the A, the B, and the C wave here. And the next category is when they're in parabolic mode like this here. So this has just arrived at the $5 mark here, as we're expecting it to do, but it still needs to have a correction across here in the setup. We can't buy into that at the moment. It will go higher, it will come lower, it'll do a little dance across here, and we'll pick it up when we need. But this is the second category, so if you see that around the traps, then you kind of know what's sort of happening. This one here still hasn't sort of finished to the upside. I've got it as 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5 for the third, fourth, and fifth. So this is a bit of an odd one that's still got further to go to the upside. IGO here, once again at this old high here, looking for it to probably won't pull back that far, but anyway, we'll just see how that plays out. We don't want to buy it until they've done corrections in all of this, and this is mineral resources here. So we're waiting for this correction, which is actually happening in most cases. This is just a penny stock here, but I kind of like this one because I've got this A, B, C correction here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I like it because we haven't taken the top out here, so that means this is wave 1 and 2 here, so we still need wave 3 here, and 4 and 5. So this will be a nice, this should scoot along quite sort of nicely when it's ready to take out that top, because we've got a nice A wave, B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for this. So I like this a lot, this one. So yeah, it's done all the right. It's not the best looking classic trading levels pattern at a level, but it's kind of got the arrival here and the reaction, and then the first high above the level, then the ABC correction, and then an impulse wave here, and then we go long above that B wave, but we'll probably try to get in a little bit earlier than that. My point being here with all of this is that the lithium stocks have been correcting. So this ETF could also correct. So I wouldn't be surprised if this has got another move here to finish off before it goes further up here for this. So just not, I don't, it's in no man's land for me at the moment. I don't have a thing on it at the moment. Uranium. So the good thing about a uranium from the 2020 here, it's got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here. This is URA, of course. It's an ETF. And look, it doesn't have the best ABC correction. I'll probably have to look at this as a WXY, and that means that it could also play out a little bit differently as well. But the point being is it's got 5 waves here, and it's got some type of correction here, right? So I've been a bit puzzled about this move up here and looking at it as a wave 1 and 2 up here for this, So this is also correcting like those lithium stocks are doing as well. I can get 5 waves out of this. It's not the best looking thing in town, but yeah, it's kind of there, but it's still not ready to do anything just yet. Okay, so we need to spend some time on that. But I was having a bit of a look around at just going to go back to my commodity list here, and this, what's this? That's that's just the same thing. But this stock here, I hadn't heard about it before, KAP. It's traded on London and in Germany as well. It's the biggest uranium stock out there, and I thought, oh, well, that's interesting. So, and also looking at, and I'm thinking to myself, when we're looking at looking at this move up here, in this case, we can kind of see a better wave 1 and 2 here, and then 3 and 4, and it's not the best 5th wave up here, but it's kind of doing all the right things, in its own little way. We've got some sort of, A wave, B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, maybe if that is the low, or need to take it from that side or do something with this. I need to check it out a bit further. I only found it today. But this little move here, I kind of just trying to get some reference points on it to this move here. So just to let you know, I am working on it, and we'll keep going with that. But that's where uranium is at the moment. So it's not ready either yet, And then we come to nickel, and this is just 100 ticks, but this is the low here for nickel. And to be honest, this move here, as I've mentioned before, I could put it as a wave 2, as an A and a B and a C for wave 2. But wave 2 is normally kind of sharp and simple, and it should really be just in that space here. So this looks like more of a B wave. So we can look at it, though, as wave 1 and 2. And then 1 and 2. So if it takes out that top there, then we're bullish at that point. So here we've been looking at it going, because if it's an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave to where this C wave is here, this move here will have 5 waves, and that's 1, 2, nice strong third wave, and we've watched the fourth wave, and now I'm seeing this move up here, which is, you know, I can count it, you know, as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I still need to make a new high here because the extensions in the third wave, wave 1 and wave 5 will be much the same. But I still want to see a move above here, and I'm still not going to chase it at that point. I still needed to come back here, so as an ABC, and then we can go long. Because if it's an A and a B and a C wave here, then it's just going to come down from here and make a new low at that point. So I don't know that for sure. I don't know which is which here. I can count the waves, that's okay, but I don't have 5 waves up here. I have 3 waves up. That could be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. But we'll go long over here for that, if that's going to be the case, because it's either this is the junction here where it will either go up or it'll go down. The fundamentals are solid, very solid indeed, and one would expect them to continue up. But because we track patterns, that means that we must wait for the right pattern to fall into place for our trade setup to manage our exposure on that side. So they're the metals. The other thing too is that I won't worry about that. I did all the sectors in the other video this morning, so I won't worry about that. But going over to crude here, just before we go into crude, I'll just go, I didn't do this energy sector video this morning, so the thing here is that with this energy sector, and the top one is ExxonMobil, and we'll have a look at that. What we've been waiting here for is we've had this wave 3 up here, right? So we can come down for wave 4 here, and then we can have 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. We'll talk about that in a moment. Or we can have this wave 4 sitting over here for this as wave C here, and looking at this as an A, B, C up here for the B wave, and then down for the C wave here. Because currently we could go long above here, but now we can go long above here. But what we want to do, you know, we started up here, if you remember, and then we've gone to there, and then we'll probably go over to here somewhere. Now, what I was looking for here, though, is an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here. So the C wave down here being 5 waves, that will be wave 1, that will be wave 2, this will be wave 3. It's in wave 4 at the moment. It'll come down for wave 5 to make wave 2 here. So then I need to see it push up. So I want an impulse wave here to tell me that. I want 5 waves in here, and we could probably buy the pullback if we get 5 waves and they're clear in here. Otherwise, we'll just need to buy that top. But we've been waiting very patiently, you know, and we've done all the right things really, because when you think about it, you know, when we were talking about, I can remember this far back, so, you know, we're talking about it over here, but we weren't going to go long until we had this setup here, you know, so we've waited all of that time. So that means you could use money somewhere else in the market and not do it here. So just because I take my time, it doesn't mean, you know, that it's not good, you know. I know young bloods are sort of chomping at the bit and, you know, want to get involved in it and all the rest of it. But as you get old and crusty, you don't want to make so many mistakes. So anyway, look, we just really want to see one more little move down here. And we'll be able to see that in ExxonMobil over here as well, because a little bit more complicated, because this is 1,000 ticks, it's intraday. So we can call it wave 4 here, or we can put wave 4 over here with wave C over here and wave B up here. So an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here for the B wave, and then come down over here. So, but otherwise, if we put wave 4 here, we can look at this as wave 1 here, wave 2, then a smaller 1 and a smaller 2 here. And as you know, we've been looking for this as the A wave, and ABC for the B wave, and then down for the C wave here. So we're getting there. We're just not quite there yet. We had a bit of a spike in there, which sort of chucks a bit of a spanner in the work, but I still think there's one more move to come here before we go. But I'll still need 5 waves up here for this too, you know, and then we could buy the pullback at that point. But we're nearly there. This would be wave 1 and 2, and this would be 3 and 4 in here. I'm not going to get into the spike at all, but I can see that it's not ready just yet, but we're getting there. But even when it lands, it doesn't mean we need to buy it on the low here, because we're going to get a bounce anyway, but that bounce could end up bringing us down further at that point. So that's what we don't know. So this is the important area over here that we need to get right. So we can bring in the levels and things. So from 90 is a medium level, got 1, 2 and 3 here. So 93, getting support on 93 after we touch base here will be important. And then we can look to add on 95, and then we've got 98 here. We can also put in group 2 here as well, which will be 65. I won't do it now, but 65 and 72 in there. So yeah, we've got some work to do in there, but look, everything's unfolding just as we thought that it would, but it still doesn't give us any answers at this point, because this could be down for 1, back for 2, down for 1, back for 2, and then continue down at that point. You know, we don't know that just yet, but hopefully we'll get some sort of ABC pattern here as well. If we can't read that 5 waves, and we'll push up at that point. So, but we'll look for, I'll just put this in here. That's what we're looking for. We want that little B wave in here. That would be helpful. I mean, if we can count the 5 waves in here, that would be good. But it's pretty sort of a scrappy old sort of, you know, movement in the energy sector, in the oil sector anyway. And we can see how sort of, you know, spasmodic that is here when we have a look at, you know, crude here. You can see it's kind of got its own, you know, its own personality here in terms of its patterns, and not big patterns, but just the way it moves. It's not an easy thing to trade, this one, I have to say. I mean, I find it difficult. All I've been waiting for here is a couple of things. Either we get support on the 90, on the medium level here, the first high above the level, and we'll go. That's always been, you know, lately that's always been our thing. Otherwise it will drift down. Now it's possible to call wave 5 in here. It doesn't give us the best looking 5 waves down here. It's doable, but what was sort of interesting was looking at this as wave 1 here and coming back for wave 2 here. And will we be pushing up from that point there? That's the thing. We know that the energy sector and the you know, the Exxon Mobils and of the world are kind of ready, getting there, you know. So in this case, we do have a nice A, B, and C wave down here. This is the C wave is nice and lazy, like the wave A is nice and sharp. So that's, everything is kind of good in that way. Okay, so let's go to the tick chart and have a look at all of this now. So coming off the low here, where we would been talking about, we're trying to see if this was up for wave 1 here with an A wave and a B wave and a C wave moving down lower here for this. So let's just clean all this up. So there's a good chance. It's a bit unusual to have an expanded flat in, and I could probably count that up as 5 waves as I look at it again here as 1 and 2. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, pull back for the 4th and the 5th. So I could fit that 5 wave structure in there. Well, I won't worry about that at the moment. I had been looking at it, as you know, as the wave 1 with the A, the B and the C wave coming down here. So we're past the 61.8%. We're looking, last time we spoke, we were looking, because we do this every second day, we were looking for wave 5 coming down of wave 2 here. And that would give us from wave B up here, we're counting down as, count all that down for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. And then, or just assume that's wave 5 for the moment. So that means we need to assume that this is wave 1 to the upside here, and then we're coming back for wave 2. Now, it's not to say this is true, it's just to say that we're preparing for the upside, but there could still be one more move to the downside. You know, that's kind of what's possible, you know. So at this stage, based on what we've got here so far, we could pretty much go long above this move here now. and this would be roughly sort of okay-ish at this point here. So we could look at, it's down at the 78.6, which is the square root of 61.8%. We could look at that as the A wave, the B wave, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. It's not really giving us the best looking sort of structure to the upside here, is it? I mean, it's not to say that it's not, because I can count 5 waves from this low to this point with an ABC back here. It doesn't really count as 5 waves up here, but I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, but haven't really made a new high. It's not looking the best. We'll just see how it goes a little bit. This looks quite impulsive, so that's good. It's come really quite close to this low back here, but it hasn't breached it. So yeah, it was just with the other markets, we were expecting, one more move to the downside, but it may not come in that space. But if it does come, it leaves it a little bit weird. Then we'll have to look at all of this as wave 1 here and back for wave 2 here, and then down for 3, 4, 5. So that would be a little bit of a different thing in that regard. That would be wave 1 here and bringing this back to wave 2 here. That would bring, don't need that. Don't need that. Let's just see where that sits at this point. I mean, if you're going to go long, you want to know what the short side of the market is for sure. You want to know both sides. So that's, as a retracement, that's come back to done all the right things. It's just that it's come back and it looks like it's in 5 waves rather than 3 waves. So that's telling me that it's bullish. And because it's done its thing, I mean, of course it could just go back up to the 61.8% here and then come down here as well. That will be the thing. So what we want to see here is we want to see, I might just remove that, because what we do want to see next rather is we want to see a nice 5 wave structure moving up here. We'll come back to these highs here, and this one will take us down, and this one here, I'll keep an eye on this tomorrow for the Australian video. What we want to see is we want to see that. We want to see that point there. That's where we can go long at. That would be the safe trade, and we just really want to see a nice 5 wave structure to here. But even if we do get 5 waves here, as an A and a B and a C wave here, that can continue to come down at that point. So getting that junction, that turning point right there is a little bit critical. So a little bit more work to do here. So it hasn't ticked all the boxes the way that we'd want them to, but yeah, it is what it is. We just need to treat it cautiously. That's all. Okay, so we talked about ExxonMobil, so I don't need to do that. Over to natural gas. Yes, so I just wanted to, did I check on that before? No, it's okay. I was just checking. I was going to check the futures market to see what the long and the short of it all is, in terms of who's got what the hedge funds are doing, if they've got more shorts and longs and things. But look, for natural gas here on the daily chart, coming back to this area here, it's pretty clear we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. So we've got that 5 waves, which means that after this 5 waves here, it should have a correction and then have another 5 waves up. But the correction, as you may know, we're looking at it in 2 different ways. We're looking at it as a possible A wave up here and then a B wave here. And if that's correct, then we can look at this as wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then push up into wave 3. If that's not the case, then we need to look at this as the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave coming back down here for this and then going up there. You could also call this wave A here as a wave 1 as well, but I don't think we need to go there just yet with that. But this 2 B waves here, this is what we need to be a little bit cautious of at this point. And we've got the 5K, the 2K, and the 100 here. So I think the 5K is this count with this B wave over here. So we're just going to have a look at that first. So yeah, this would be like this. This would be the little A wave up the top here. Cycle degree, primary degree, intermediate A, B, C for primary B, and then intermediate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for primary C of cycle B, so to speak. So yeah, that's one counter. We just need to be aware of that. It may or may not happen. You know, if you think crude was going to push up, whether you think this would push up as well. So the other count that we got here is the more bullish count, which is on 2K tick, I think. Okay, so it's looking at this move down, and we'll put wave B over here, back over here for this. So the A wave, the B wave, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here for wave 1. That's the other count here, but just wave 5 of 1. And then looking at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here. And this box is the 50-60% retracement level. So we were looking at this in terms of, I mean, it's quite a nice wave 1 here. I don't know if you can see that, but 1, 2, 3, and the 4. It's just got a nice, I can just sort of see it. It does appear that, I might need to just check that in a moment, but so look, we may have, like the other, it looks like it wants to push up, but we kind of need one more little move down here to give us 5 down here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I can see that it would like to push up. I mean, but it did make that, I mean, the reason I think it push up, because I can see that this is corrective here as an A and a B and a C. But that means that it's already made a high here. So it's done its business. It may be the A, the B, and the C to here, and then 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 making a new low here. We'll need to check on that. So I just got to be check this too, that it's not all wrapped up in there too. So 100 ticks. Okay, I don't have this labeled here, but what else have I got here? Okay, so I've got all of this, so don't need that short, that's all gone. And we could just borrow these here. Let me clean this up, I haven't been here for a long time. So I can borrow that, we're going to put that there, we're going to put that over here, we're going to look for that over here, we're going to look for this over here, we're going to put that there, we're going to check on that count there, we're going to put that there, and we're going to put this over here. We're going to need, whoops a daisy, where does that go? That goes there. These out of the way. Don't need that. Oh yeah, we will need that a little bit later. That we can go over there. What else? We can put that over there. Don't need these, but we can look at, yeah, we'll need these over here at some other stage. And we want to count this little structure in here, so let's just put these in over here. Just, I need to check to see if this is the third wave here, so to take up your time, but and that there with that there, that over there. Do we need any more? That's all good. So let's just have a look at this. Don't need any of that. Need that. So all of that looks good. That's not a problem. It's just this leg here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third. So that's 1, 2. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Third, fourth, fifth. One, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Third, fourth, and fifth. So that's it. That will do the trick. and this here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the A wave, the A, B, C for the B wave, and the C wave here. So, and this looks like 5 waves here too. So, fingers working. So yeah, I mean, it's not the best, but it looks kind of impulsive, and this should pull back to the 50-60% in here. So the A, the B, and the C to here, so it can have another little move up. But so what we're looking at here now is we're just really looking at one more leg to the downside. This wave 4 may get more complicated, and I could have this wrong, but we don't have a long trade here yet anyway, so we're not missing anything, you know. We're just kind of shooting the breeze here, really. So we're looking for a move down into this area. That's 7.5. So between 7,000 and 8,000, you put in the levels 1, 2, 3 for group 1, midpoint 5, and then the 8 and plus group 2 in here. Look, let's just see how this plays out here, and if that's all good, then we can look for wave 1 and 2 up here. Well, it'll be a building process. In fact, we'll need this wave 1 over here, back over here for this. It'll be won't be that simple. So what we want to try to do, if all goes according to plan, we kind of want to see some move down here, and then we want to see 5 waves up here. If we get 5 waves up here, we can buy the 50-60% pullback here, and then we can continue to build in over this side. In the meantime, yeah, let's just see how this gets treated here first. Let's just see if we get that nice 5-wave structure here, or we get something weird. I mean, the downside is still possible as well, the further downside, but getting 5 waves back up here will be very helpful. You know, decent 5 waves and support on this level here, that will help us a lot. I mean, this is a little bit of a mystery to me. I haven't really sort of sat down and solved that point just yet, but anyway, it's taking shape, but we don't have a long trade here just yet, so more information to come. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.